Warning. The following is rated M for minors shouldn't watch this. Viewer discretion is advised, but hey, I'm not your parent, so do whatever you want. Hello, literary travelers. Welcome to Fanfic World, the world of fanfics. Today, we are going to be exploring
Let Mortal Kombat begin!
So I watched Mortal Kombat 2021, and it's okay. It's not totally bad, but it doesn't have a lot of good points either. It's just okay. A solid 5 out of 10 on the scale. But actually no, that is kind of it. It has some good and bad. Like, I can go through the story as much as you want, but if you've watched the first Mortal Kombat movie, the live action one, the one with the cool soundtrack that everybody likes to quote as being Mortal Kombat's theme, well, that movie honestly felt better to me. I mean, yes, it doesn't have the immense budget and effects that this movie has and is like 20 to 30 years later. Jesus, when did that last movie come out? Hang on, let me check this. Oh my god, 1995. Jesus. Okay, so yeah, let me be clear here. Just because the fact that the older film feels like it was better for its time period doesn't mean that the new one doesn't have things that you can't enjoy. I honestly like the Lizard Man. I think his name is Reptile. To be frank here, I am not a huge fan of the Mortal Kombat franchise. I honestly don't know the appeal of these games, but I'm not a fighting game person in the first place, so yeah. Although, when it comes to the rivalry between Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, I can definitely say I know Mortal Kombat better than Street Fighter, mostly because I know Street Fighter basically from its character designs. Real big fan of the character designs, not a big fan of anything else. Oh wait, I do like the Street Fighter movie. It's bad, but it's funny bad. And if you can do funny bad, that is a gift. But anyway, back to Mortal Kombat 2021. There are some things you can like. For one thing, it has some pretty good action scenes. Most of them. Some of them suck, but most of them are pretty good. My favorites are most of the ones that involve your favorite Ice Ninja and mine, Sub-Zero. But apparently, like, this isn't like the Sub-Zero I know. Oh, okay, so let me be clear. I'm getting most of my Mortal Kombat knowledge from my friend. I've played the games with him, but only like local. And really, I've only played Mortal Kombat 11. So, wow, you can really see the lore of Mortal Kombat wash over me, can't you? Okay, so apparently the Sub-Zero we see in the movie is not the fan favorite Sub-Zero. This is the older Sub-Zero, who is the older brother of the fan favorite Sub-Zero, who I think's name is Bihan. I think. I probably should have just asked my friend to be here with me to help this, but this is my first video, so I'm trying, guys. Okay, anyway. So basically, yeah, Sub-Zero, most of his fights are honestly pretty good. I like the use of his cryomancy, except for the finale. In the finale, he is literally fighting in basically his arena. He's frozen everything, and I think it's Cole's gym? Maybe? I'm not sure. It's set up to be a wrestling ring, but I'm not sure. When you first see it, you can think about how amazing it will be to see Sub-Zero utilize all this different ice to battle against his enemies. But it's never utilized, and that's one of the things that brings it down. But in other moments, he's like a freaking amazing with using his ice. Like, at one point, he literally creates a hailstorm, and it's pretty freaking cool. At another point, he actually freezes off Jax's arms and crushes them. It's pretty awesome. But, again, he's not really in most of the movie. He's actually like just a small part of it. He's supposed to be like our final combatant because there's a personal stake in it. If you've seen Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion, then you pretty much know where this is going. Scorpion's family gets killed. He gets killed as well, but he returns as a literal flame zombie. Yes, I know that they're called wraiths, but he's a flame zombie. He's literally using hellfire. He's undead. And when he pulls off his face, he apparently gets a skull fire face. I don't know, their skin when he's not wearing the mask. So where does the skeleton come from? I'm asking too many questions. Point being is that you know the story of where Sub-Zero is going to fit in. The problem is, I think they tried to fit too much into this movie. They want to focus on the first bout of Mortal Kombat, and our main character Cole, who is an OC character, Do Not Steal, is the descendant of Scorpion. You heard me right, he's the descendant of Scorpion. Now, when I first saw Cole while watching the movie for the first time, I originally thought he was Liu Kang. Liu Kang is one of the poster boys for Mortal Kombat, but I honestly thought they were going to make Liu Kang the descendant of Scorpion, which would be where his fire abilities come from. And honestly, that was my first instinct going into it. The other idea I had for Cole was that he was possibly Scorpion reincarnated. This honestly was the one I was excited for, and I was hoping that it would be the one that they would go with. Because in all honesty, this has a lot of potential. Just imagine the character drama as this young man realizes that he's the reincarnated father of this old woman. Imagine having to come to grips with the fact that you couldn't protect the rest of your family and your daughter had to grow up an orphan. With a thunder god of all people. A useless thunder god, I should say. Raiden does really suck in this movie. I'm not sure if he sucks in the franchise overall, but he definitely sucks in this movie. But yeah, imagine Scorpion realizing that his daughter had to grow up constantly in danger, that if it was revealed that she is alive, she could be targeted specifically for the fact that she could be a potential Mortal Kombat combatant. Imagine realizing that history is repeating itself and that possibly he could lose his family again just because he's a combatant in the tournament again. What if he has to hear about his daughter growing up, literally only hearing stories about him instead of him being able to be there for her, get to know her? There's so much drama and honestly really good storytelling that could have been pulled out for this. But no, we have to make an OC character who's the descendant of Scorpion and summon Scorpion for a final battle in the last act of the movie. I call it an act because it does kind of feel separate from everything. But hey, Scorpion's here. It's the final fight, the one we've been waiting for, Scorpion's revenge. And what should have been the best fight scene of the movie was very dull. None of the blows felt like they had impact, and it really kind of sucked. Like, even the Hellfire finisher was really lackluster, especially when the animated movie did it so much better. In all honesty, I kind of wonder why they started with Scorpion. Especially if they were just going to do the same tale over again, but make it worse. You already had a movie not even a year ago that allowed you to tell this story better. In fact, it even had great animation that showed off the goriness of Mortal Kombat. One of the things the game was sold on. So why go with Scorpion? Well, he's the moneymaker, or he's supposed to be. Yes, Scorpion is iconic, and even I will recognize him with the very little knowledge I had on Mortal Kombat. You could have also had Sub-Zero be the main character. Or the good one, not the bad one. What if Sub-Zero was trying to get revenge on Scorpion in this movie? Mortal Kombat was his way to do that. It might have been more interesting. Or, if you were going to retell this story again, make Scorpion a woman in this case. The daughter of the original Scorpion, and she inherits her father's soul from the Netherworld and gains Hellfire abilities, and she's the new protagonist. If it sounds very OC, well that's because it is. Cole is an OC. He's not really Scorpion. He's something to tease Scorpion with in the movie. Heck, he's not even a part of Mortal Kombat lore, in a franchise which apparently, according to my friend, has a lot of characters that could have filled in Cole's spot. And honestly, Cole feels like a Liu Kang. It felt like they wanted Liu Kang, but they also wanted Scorpion because he's the box art money. In all honesty, if they were going to do a Mortal Kombat movie, just focus on Liu Kang. He hasn't really had his story told very well. And honestly, in the animated movie, I thought Liu Kang was going to have the spot of being the secondary protagonist, where he has to win Mortal Kombat, but he's also the one who has to heal Scorpion, help him realize that aimlessly going after revenge would be stupid. But no, that wasn't happening either. Well, kind of. I think Liu Kang did help, but Scorpion goes after revenge anyway, and no lessons were taught. Look, I said I liked the Mortal Kombat Scorpion movie. I didn't say it was good. But in all honesty, I'm kind of tired of it focusing on Liu Kang and Scorpion. Liu Kang was the protagonist of the 1995 movie. Scorpion has been the protagonist of 2 movies. In all honesty, wouldn't it be better if they focused on another character? I know what you guys are gonna say. Well, actually, I don't know the Mortal Kombat lore that much, so maybe there was another character who's a protagonist, but from what my friend says, Liu Kang is normally the protagonist. But there actually is another character with an interesting story that could have been made into a Mortal Kombat protagonist. She's interesting, she has an interesting backstory, and in all honesty, you could make a full movie using just her elements from the game. And by the way, I am working off this only from what I know from the Mortal Kombat movie, and the little bit my friend told me about Mortal Kombat 11. The new protagonist that I propose is Kitana. Yeah, think about it. Kitana is honestly a very interesting character. Her father is Shao Kahn, or really her adopted father. Her real father was killed by Shao Kahn. She was brainwashed into believing that Shao Kahn was her real father. Her father doesn't believe that she's strong enough, so he literally makes a clone of her, Mileena. She falls in love with Liu Kang, thus giving her an attachment to Earthrealm, but she also wants to free her home of Edenia. By the way, when I first recorded this, I literally didn't know how to pronounce Edenia, and my friend told me the pronunciation, so I had to go back and re-record all of this. Oh boy. Don't tell him that I forgot how to pronounce literally every other character's name, or even some characters' names in general. Moving on, Kitana is honestly very interesting. She's worthy of a protagonist. A princess to a realm of evil, but is actually also a princess to a realm of good. Thus, a dichotomy being there. Some of the influence of Shao Kahn showing her more ruthless side, while also having compassion, showing the side of her original birthplace. Oh, and in addition, she would honestly have insider knowledge of Outworld. Thus, she might have ways of counteracting some of Outworld's warriors. Oh, and I'm told she has wind magic when she uses the fans, so that's a plus. So with all those elements in play, let's get into how I would have done Mortal Kombat 2021. Instead of starting off in Earthrealm, we start out in good old Outworld, where Shao Kahn is ruling, people are being tortured, and Kitana, our protagonist, is not exactly in the favor of her father. She hasn't really gotten to prove herself as a warrior, or even as a successor to his throne. Her mother is dead, and she doesn't have her protection like she normally would. However, Kitana doesn't want her mother's protection. She wants to prove how good of a warrior she is. She wants to be in her father's good graces, for him to see her as a great warrior. Despite the fact that he trains nearby and that she shows off a prodigious skill, Shao Kahn seems severely uninterested. Shao Kahn believes that she doesn't have the fire or spark of a warrior and believes that she's weak. Kitana wishes to prove herself. Luckily for her, the next event of Mortal Kombat has arisen, and she wants to participate. Kitana asks to be allowed to participate in Mortal Kombat. Shao Kahn asks her if she knows the dangers, and she says she does. Shao Kahn accepts and allows her to go. Shang Tsung is not happy about this decision, but follows his master's whim. Kitana is of course taken to Shang Tsung's island, where this Mortal Kombat will be held. Oh, and we're getting rid of the markers. There are no markers. None. Mortal Kombat happens in a tournament style. There are brackets and there are even number of fighters for both sides. It doesn't matter what characters we pull from. If we need iconic characters, fine. Put Sonya and Jax and Johnny Cage and Hat Guy. I honestly don't know what his name is. But the two important ones we need are Goro and Liu Kang. They are the important factors, besides, of course, Kitana, our protagonist. Now, during the Battle of Mortal Kombat, Kitana proves that she's an incredible warrior. She surprises even some of the other Outworlders, believing that she's been coddled by Emperor Shao Kahn. However, Shang Tsung is one of the few people who isn't impressed and believes that Kitana will be eliminated very soon in the competition. Her prodigious skill catches the attention of Liu Kang, who shows obvious interest in her. He shows off his skill, and she's obviously interested in Liu Kang as well. Goro, however, is also someone that shows off prodigious might and skill. He looks to be very bored with the tournament. He hasn't had a good fight in millennia, and he is Outworld's champion, and the champion of Mortal Kombat 9 times running. This is Earthrealm's final chance. If they lose here, Outworld can invade, or legally invade, I'm guessing. That's how my friend put it. It's like, you don't have permission to invade the realms without 10 wins in Mortal Kombat? So, yeah. Anyway, During one of the bouts, Kitana sees Liu Kang perform one of his signature fire moves. There was this one in the movie where Liu Kang summons a freaking fire dragon. I'm gonna go with that one, and it impresses Kitana. She's actually fancying Liu Kang a bit. She goes to Liu Kang. This is in between the matches, so that way they can be a little bit of downtime, but she asks Liu Kang to drop out of the match and join Outworld. You see, Kitana explains that in the Mortal Kombat, there can be one combatant that can join later on. This is normally used, especially by the Earthrealmers, 9 times running, to have one last warrior enter the fray for the final battle. However, Outworld has not really needed to, since Goro has easily defeated their warriors 9 Mortal Kombats running. Liu Kang refuses, and Kitana warns him that if he stays on this path, he'll die. Liu Kang is a prodigious warrior, no doubt. But Goro is another thing entirely. She hypes up Goro, and we get to see Goro's prodigious skill as he not only muscles his way through, but gets to show a bit of finesse and skill. If there's one thing I kinda don't like about Goro, it's the fact that he seems like the dumb muscle trope. And my friend tells me that Goro is actually kind of intelligent, which, yeah, I wouldn't really want the winner of Mortal Kombat to be someone who's just a dumb brute. So, just in case this isn't a part of his character, Goro shows skill. Of course, the 4 arms show domination, but he shows skill and strength. Kitana tries once again to get Liu Kang to join her side, but Liu Kang refuses. Kitana is disappointed, but says that maybe he'll change his mind once he sees how dominating Outworld will be in the matches. We get a little bit of a montage where everything goes, where we see Kitana, Goro, Liu Kang, and maybe one other character of the side characters go forth and make it through the matches. We eventually see Mortal Kombat whittled down to its final 8 combatants. Of course, our major characters are not in the same slots, so that way we can save the grand matches for later. Now, many people in Outworld are actually viewing Kitana much differently. She's a very powerful warrior now. Many of Outworld's people who thought she would have been eliminated in the first or second rounds now can't seem to think of her anything but a powerful warrior, and definitely someone worthy of being Shao Kahn's daughter. Even when Shao Kahn asked for a report of the tournament, he's surprised to hear that Kitana has made it into the final 8. Kitana is reveling in her new victory, and even Shang Tsung says that he didn't expect her to make it this far. Thus, Kitana believes that if she can get as far as to go against Goro, she'll have proven to her father that she's a warrior worthy of his blood. However, someone else has been watching Kitana, and he's been observing her, watching how she wants her father's approval and wants to prove herself. In a moment where she's alone, Raiden appears to her and tells her that her trying to gain the favor of Outworld shouldn't be her priority. However, Kitana doesn't want to listen to the Thunder God. She knows what he wants. He wants to protect Earthrealm, and Earthrealm is the next target of her father. Raiden asks Kitana if she approves of the conquering of realms, and Kitana shows a little bit of hesitation. She admits that she doesn't really like the conquering of realms, but it's her father's goal and wish, and thus, as his daughter, she will move forward per his wishes. Raiden asks if Kitana is only fueled by her father's desires. However, when she replies, she gives a reply that she's been giving off sort of creepily throughout the movie. I couldn't really place the seeds on it a lot well, but throughout the movie, whenever she addresses Shao Kahn or his goal of conquering the different realms, she keeps saying, and this is a quote that only she says, "by the wishes of Shao Kahn." Now, throughout this, it seems as though it was kind of just something she said, but when asked by Raiden this time, she says it, and that's not what she wanted to say. And this is something that confuses her a bit, but she tries not to show it. Raiden, however, picks up on this and asks her if she knows anything about the realm Edenia. Kitana states that Edenia is the realm where her mother came from. After Shao Kahn conquered the realm and killed the previous king, Shao Kahn would marry her mother Sindel, and thus have Kitana as a child. But Raiden, who in this iteration would have ties to Edenia, not sure how, but we're going to keep it vague. Raiden says that Jared was the original husband of Sindel, and he had a child. Kitana says that she never heard of such a child, and Raiden says that that's surprising. The child's name was also Kitana. Katana is taken aback a bit, but before Raiden can continue, Katana is called for her next match. Katana, a little bit confused, goes to her next match, and because of the confusion, she's a little bit off her game, but she eventually wins. Though as soon as she wins though, she hurries back to where she met Raiden. Instead of Raiden, Shang Tsung is there, and Shang Tsung asks what he's doing. She tells him that the Thunder God is skulking around the place, and Shang Tsung says of course he is, this is his island, and Raiden has always had a problem with Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung warns her not to go towards Raiden because Raiden is too powerful to be defeated. Even someone as powerful as he is can really hold his own against Raiden. Shang Tsung says that much like him, Raiden is a representative of the world that they come from. Raiden from Earthrealm, Shang Tsung from Outworld. He is also basically appointed by the Elder Gods to make sure that the rules are always in place. Mortal Kombat cannot be cheated. Shang Tsung tells Katana that he, of all people, never thought he'd say this, but he actually believes that Katana could be a powerful warrior, and thus tells Katana to not think about Raiden or trying to be a hero of Outworld, to be a warrior, a weapon for her father. Katana says that she wants to make a request from her father Shao Kahn and asks for permission to speak to him. Shang Tsung, knowing that she's still the princess, decides to open a call to Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn initially wants to hear about their victory, but he instead sees Katana kneeling on the ground in front of him. Shao Kahn, instead of the normal way he reacted at the start, tells Katana that he's heard of her victories. Katana is surprised, and Shao Kahn tells her not to be. Of course, he would want to know about the championship that will eventually allow him to invade Earthrealm. Katana actually tells her father that she's found a human that suits her fancy, and she was hoping to keep him. Shao Kahn is actually a bit surprised, but gains this malicious smirk, a creepy one. Shao Kahn asks who the human is, and she says that it's Liu Kang, one of the two humans that actually have made it to the final four. Shao Kahn actually laughs and tells Katana that, much like he did when he conquered Edenia, Katana has found her own trophy, something that she wants to keep. Shao Kahn approves and tells Shang Tsung to make sure that the human survives. He doesn't have to be intact, just survive. Shang Tsung acknowledges, and after closing the mystical Skype call, Shang Tsung leaves to announce the next match, but tells Katana that she is more Outworlder than he thought she was. After Shang Tsung leaves, however, Raiden appears behind Katana and tells her that that's not a good thing. Katana is startled and pulls her fan out, and although it gets close to Raiden's neck, he doesn't flinch. Raiden tells Katana that he knows where proof exists that Shao Kahn is not her father. The Thunder God tells Katana that there is a secret lab under the island, and that the way of entrance is to go to Shao Kahn's statue and move his warhammer in the proper position. Katana finds the secret lab, and in it, she finds clones of her spliced together with another fighter that's in the arena, Baraka, or at least his species. I'm not sure which one in normal combat lore. So Katana is disgusted and obviously feels betrayed. But while Katana was in the lab, she had missed her match versus Liu Kang, and thus the match between Goro and Hat Guy was skipped to, thus leaving it so there are two Earthrealmers versus the last Outworlder, Goro. Goro faces off against Hat Guy while Shang Tsung goes to find Katana, wondering what happened. However, Shang Tsung finds that his lab is open. In a panic, he goes downstairs and meets an enraged Katana, who has been destroying most of the clones of her. Katana, using her wind magic, takes down Shang Tsung before he can make a move, and tells him to open a comm to her father right now. Shang Tsung does as ordered, and she holds up a battered Shang Tsung and tells her father that Shang Tsung has been cloning her, mixing her with Tarkatan DNA, and that she wants Shang Tsung, after the tournament, executed for his insolence. However, Shao Kahn reveals that he wanted the clones. In fact, he ordered them. Katana is taken aback, but Shao Kahn says that the clones will no longer be necessary because Katana has proven herself a powerful warrior. Not only has she taken down most of the people in Mortal Kombat, but she has also been able to take down the sorcerer Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung tries to comment that he was taken by surprise, But Shao Kahn states that Shang Tsung hasn't been as powerful as he used to be since the souls he collected has been subpar. He's even aged to an old man, and thus he's becoming less useful as a fighter and more of a scientist, but still, taking him down is an impressive feat. Shao Kahn then tells Kitana that once the tournament is over, she'll have her prize, and then she'll come back to Outworld to start preparing for the next realm to start conquering, the realm of her choice. No room for argument, and of course Kitana says the creepy line, "By Shao Kahn's wishes." Kitana realizes that that wasn't her, but she plays it off. Shang Tsung gets up, he's roughed up, he doesn't like Kitana again, but tells her that if it wasn't for the fact that she was Shao Kahn's daughter, that Shang Tsung would have eviscerated her. Kitana retorts saying that she doesn't need her father's protection. She already has proven she's a powerful enough warrior on her own, and leaves Shang Tsung in his lab with all of his destroyed clones, or what she thought was all. Shang Tsung looks around the lab and leaves, but the audience gets to see that one pod, while damaged, wasn't completely destroyed, and it seems as though by the looks of it, whatever's inside is alive. Don't know why I'm trying to be mysterious, you all know it's Melina. By the time Kitana leaves, we already see that the final match has been decided. It's Liu Kang versus Goro. And before the match starts, Kitana goes to Liu Kang and tells him to just give up. There's no beating Shao Kahn. He has no hope. Just give up, and she can take him back to Outworld as more than just a pet. But if she doesn't, Liu Kang is going to be treated as her slave. Liu Kang states that he will not give up. His ancestors fought, Raiden believes in him, and he's trained his entire life for this. Kitana tells him that his life has been one where he's trapped in what others want him to be. They need a hero, and he's it. However, Liu Kang states that he had every right to leave when he wanted to, but he chose not to because Earthrealm needed him, and because it was his choice. He chooses to fight for Earthrealm, even if it means his inevitable death. Kitana is left there kinda speechless. She actually looks towards Liu Kang as he fights Goro, and shows that he's not a pushover, but Goro is still that much stronger. Liu Kang tries to use some of his fire abilities, but it's revealed that Goro will just run through the flames and punch Liu Kang. He's too strong, too durable, and it just isn't in the cards. Liu Kang loses, but as per instructions, Goro leaves him battered, but not dead. Goro tells Liu Kang that he hasn't felt that exhilaration of battle in a while, and he honestly felt as though if Liu Kang had a few more decades, he would have been a worthy opponent. So Goro tells him that if Kitana allows it, he would love for a rematch. Shang Tsung asks Raiden if he has any last combatants left, anyone that will step up and try to defeat Goro again. Raiden remains silent for a while, and Shang Tsung says, "Oh, there's no one. Then by the laws of the Elder Gods." But then Kitana yells, "Stop." Kitana emerges and, pointing her fan at Shang Tsung, says that she will be Earthrealm's next fighter, surprising many in the arena. She asks Raiden if this is acceptable, and Raiden states that he accepts. Goro asks if that's even possible since she is a fighter for Outworld. However, Raiden reveals that it is possible, as Shang Tsung was once a fighter for Earthrealm, but shifted sides to Outworld. Shang Tsung is angry, but states that this is fine. He can see Kitana get crushed, and his cloning procedures can be reinstated to create a better warrior than Kitana. Kitana keeps silent and instead points to Goro and tells him that she hopes there are no hard feelings. She does see Goro as an honorable warrior. Goro states that there are none, and he'll take no pleasure in beating up the princess of Outworld. Kitana only smirks and uses her fans at the "come at me" motion, and we get, of course, the fight sound effects that are used in Mortal Kombat. Apparently, my friend says that that's important. It's apparently tied to the series. Okay. So yeah, Kitana faces off against Goro, and honestly, it seems like Goro is one-siding this for a bit. However, Kitana refuses to give up, and Kitana uses her limber body, her wind magic, and her superior Edenian physiology in order to get around Goro and score some damage on him. She slashes at him with her fan, she avoids his punches and even his attempts to grab her. Oh, and there's this one move that I really like, where you throw the fans and they come back as boomerangs. It was in Code Lyoko. It's fun. Yeah, we can have her do that when Goro attempts to grab her and the fans come back and hit Goro and force him to drop her. And in the end, Kitana doesn't kill Goro, but she does take him down enough to where he can no longer fight. And thus, she technically wins Mortal Kombat. Shang Tsung is angry, but after hearing a noise coming from one of the halls, he smirks. He knows what that noise is. Before Kitana can relish in her victory, even though she's a little injured, well, a lot injured, Shang Tsung says that they have one extra fighter. Kitana doesn't believe him because she would have known. However, Shang Tsung says that, oh, she did know. She just wasn't able to destroy this one. And with shocked eyes, Mileena appears. So Mileena wears basically a pink outfit that's similar to Kitana, so we're just gonna have that. Also, she has bandages around her mouth, and when she emerges, she immediately spots Kitana, and the bandages rip off to reveal her sharp Tarkatan mouth. The final battle comes down to an injured Kitana versus a newly born Mileena. And this battle is fierce. We get to see some blood. We get to see Mileena, who has no weapons because she literally was kind of just made. Or just woke up. Whatever. Instead, we get to see Mileena utilizing her mouth and claws to rip and shred at Kitana. But Kitana proves to be an excellent warrior and better than this clone by using her skill and intelligence to defeat Mileena. I'm not going to go through this play-by-play because that's boring, but the ending move I would have be one of Kitana's fatalities. So, Shang Tsung is angry as Kitana not only defeated Goro, but still had enough strength to defeat his supposedly superior version of her. With Mortal Kombat over, Raiden tells Shang Tsung that he is no longer bound from non-interference. Then Shang Tsung, who was about to try and blast Kitana, decides to retreat. He creates a portal out of there, kind of like he does in the animated movie. Kitana picks up the severed head of Mileena and tells Shang Tsung that she has a message for her father, that she's no longer under his sway, and that she will free her people of Edenia. Shang Tsung's island collapses, because I'm assuming that's what it does because of the movie. Kitana picks up Liu Kang, and along with the other Earthrealmers, they escape from Shang Tsung's island. On the ship back to Earthrealm, Kitana stands over Liu Kang, watching over him as he recovers. The other Earthrealmers aren't really sure about Kitana, but they're trying, because she did save them from Mortal Kombat ending with them being invaded. Raiden, however, fully accepts her, seeing as he was an old friend of Jared's. That's what I've decided that the connection to Edenia is. Raiden was an old friend of Jared's. Raiden apologizes to Kitana, knowing that what she must be going through is hard. Kitana mentions that she still doesn't have her full memories, but when she fought against Shao Kahn's programming, she was able to regain one thing. She remembered what her father's face looks like. Kitana asks if there's any way to reverse the brainwashing that Shao Kahn has done that keeps her from remembering her family. Raiden states that there are many sorcerers on Earthrealm, and he'll ask them for help. Raiden also states that he'll need Kitana to help defend Earthrealm, seeing as Shao Kahn will want Earthrealm even more now, since Kitana has fled here and sided with them. Kitana accepts on the condition that Raiden will help her defeat Shao Kahn and separate Edenia from Outworld in the future. Raiden of course accepts, and we get our ending. Thank you for watching. Besides the Skulker Ghost origins, this is my first fanfic video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Please tell me what you think. I would love to hear some feedback so I can become a better writer. Comments are always welcome. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All the YouTube things. And I hope you guys look forward to the next episode where I talk about something I'm a little bit more of a fan of. Anyway, thanks so much, and I will see you guys next time.